Hello, my name is Dean, and today I'm going to show you a plugin I wrote for IDA Pro called Rails. Rails allows you to work with multiple instances of IDA Pro by letting you get to comments outside of the current binary, as well as jumping to functions and just generally jumping around between the various instances easily. Let's begin by first opening up IDA. And then once that's open, just go and open up whatever database you're working on. I've been playing a bit with this crackme called Cube, so we'll just open that up. And then once you're in there, we want to turn on Rails. So we can do this in two ways. You can either go up to the Edit menu, Plugins, and then just click Rails, or else I could have just as easily hit Alt-R and that would have done the same thing. Once Rails is started, you'll see that we have a new tab here, which has in it two boxes. The first on the left is it will show us the lists of instances that are open. So since we don't have any other ones open right now, there's nothing there. And then the other box is a little console that shows us the comments and as well as a couple other bits of information that we can work with. So let's first try and jump to a function outside of where we are. Let's go work with this set end of file function. So I don't know where this is. Well, let's pretend I don't know where this is. And I want to actually see it and see what it does without looking at the API documentation online. So we can try and jump to this function, and you can do this in one of two ways. You can either go up to Edit and then hit Rails jump, or else I could have just as easily hit Alt-J. And you'll see in our console here that it says attempting to jump to set end of file in kernel 32, and nothing happened other than that. Well, that's because kernel 32 isn't open, so it really can't jump there right now. So in order to solve that bit of a issue, let's go and open up another instance of IDA. And then once that is open, let's open up the kernel 32 database, which is right here. And finally, once that's ready, turn on Rails, and there we go. And now you'll see that we're inside kernel 32, and in our instance list we have cube, which was the file we were just in, and we have our console, which is all ready to go. So this file I was actually just playing with a bit, but let's just scroll somewhere else in here. So we are not looking at a set end of file in the kernel 32 library right now. And let's jump back to Cube. So we can do this by just double clicking the name in the list, and it will kindly jump back for us. So once we are back in Cube, we want to try and get to that function and see what it does. So as I was saying, you can either go up to the Edit menu and click Rails jump, or else you can just do Alt-J. So Alt-J will be what I do. And that will, as I was saying, it'll jump straight there. So there we go. We are back now at the set end of file function. And we can just kind of have a look and see what it does. It obviously doesn't do a whole lot, at least at this part of the function. And that's besides jumping. So the other thing that we can do is see comments associated with a function. So let's once again go back to our cube file and try and see what comments are associated with the set end file. So to do that, what you want to do is go up to Edit and hit Rails-comments, or else I could have done Alt-C. So if you have a look in the console at the bottom there, you'll see that we have a couple new lines. The first is just telling us what executable that function is with. The second line is just the function name, and then the third line is whatever comment was there. Well, obviously, you'll see it says null, and well, that means there is no comment right now. So we need to add a comment. So we can do this by just going back to our function. There we go, and add a comment. So currently this works with function comments. I plan to expand that in the future, but as of now, that's all we have. However, I think that's pretty useful because you can actually just attach a comment to the function, and usually if you're looking at the function in another binary, that's all you really want to do is just see an overall thing. So let's put a comment here. So set end of file probably just will sets the end of file. So we have our comment, hit OK, and you'll see at the top here that the comment was actually added. So now let's just go back to Cube, and once again have a look at the comment. So there we go, Alt-C, and we have the same two lines there saying the executable and the function. And this time, instead of getting null returned, we have sets the end of file as we typed, and that is comments. So obviously, having two instances of IdaPro is somewhat manageable, but kind of annoying. Well, we can make ourselves even more exciting by opening up some more instances of IdaPro. Since this crackme uses kernel, user, and the GDI libraries, so we'll just open up those other two. There we are. There's GDI, and then turn on Rails. And notice that the other instances that were open are once again listed here. So we see that kernel 32 is open and Cube is open, and we are in GDI. So this last one we want to do is the user 32 library. So we just open up that, open our database, which is right there. And once that's ready for us, turn on Rails, and you'll see again that it populated the list for us. So now we can jump between all these instances as we wish. So I don't know, let's jump to GDI. So there we go, now we're in GDI, and now we're back in Cube, and kernel, and so on. It's pretty much, you can just jump for hours on end if you really wanted to. So that's Rails in a nutshell. Like I was saying, I have a couple more ideas for how to kind of extend this and move forward with the plugin a bit. But for now, I think having the comments and being able to actually jump between the instances easily is a huge help, because it means you aren't polluting one database with a whole bunch of libraries and trying to duplicate work. So I hope you enjoy playing with Rails, and if you have any comments from myself, feel free to send me an email. And otherwise, have fun and happy reversing.